Hello everyone, Useful NG11 here, back for another video, and well, this is another, more like different type of video for me usually. I don't normally make these types of videos where it's one image and then I'm talking over it, but I decided to, change things up a little bit. Besides, this video is basically me giving my thoughts on the, 1983 Down the Mine pilot. Now, technically speaking, this video is being released a week or, a couple hours, a week and a couple hours after the pilot was released. Um, but however, I'm technically recording this video literally the day after the 80th anniversary of the Railway series, and of course, while a lot of us enjoyed the 80th anniversary of the Railway series, who's to say the fun has to stop there? As people are going to be talking about this pilot for you know years to come, honestly. So, you know, me posting this video a week after it released, is not really that big of an issue, even though several other creators have given their insight. But anyway, what do I think? Now, for me personally, after watching it the first time, it was definitely mesmerizing, if that's the correct word to use. Now, the thing is, I watched it once on the website that it was that was promoting the model charity auction, and then I watched it on YouTube, but it was uploaded by someone else, which didn't make sense because it was going to be dropping 1 o'clock EST anyway. Um, but then I watched it a third time on the official channel, and of course, what can I say? Watching it not once, not twice, but three times at that point, it was just so cool to see. In fact, I'm actually kind of watching it right now as I'm recording to sort of get my thoughts into perspective. Um, but there's so much that I loved about this. First off, just seeing the behind the scenes at the beginning of how they made it makes me kind of wish that the rushes for that get leaked as well. As after all, we got the rushes for season 5, we got a few season 6 in there as well, and we also got the director's cut of Magic Railroad. So it's possible, but who knows. But anyway, there's so many shots in this thing that I absolutely love. This one that you see on the screen right now, I genuinely love it as it's a different angle than what we see in the final cut. And some of my other favorite shots are Gordon's wheel slip, or the mine collapsing, or like that one shot of Thomas passing the first board, which makes me kind of wonder why were there two boards. But that's just me. And also, the fact that Annie and Clarabelle have, well, semi different expressions in this pilot than what they did in the final cut. I mean, wow, that's something I didn't expect. Also, let's get the elephant out of the room right away. The footage that was used from the final episode to kind of fill in the space. So, one, two, so like, let's see, like, one, two. Now, technically, four pieces of official footage from the final cut were used, but technically there's also five. The one famous shot of Thomas passing Knapford. Now, I mean, yeah, it is technically from the pilot, but the footage here is officially from the actual episode, which makes me kind of wonder if that piece of footage was, maybe damaged beyond repair. But I don't know. Maybe I can't fault it too much, honestly. All I will say is that the mindset is definitely way more simplistic, and while simplistic, I just love the way it collapses before Thomas actually falls in. A lot of people were saying, why was that not in the final cut? Which is very David Mitton as kind of like it gives me a Tugs vibe before Tugs was even a thing. It's kind of like a Thunderbirds thing that he would do. Um, so that it's just so interesting. Also, another thing I want to say about this pilot is that it looks like a Ladybird book before the Ladybird books kind of became a thing, honestly. I don't know when they became a thing, but they were likely a thing after season 1 and then maybe season 2. I wouldn't be surprised if they were a thing in the 80s. And then, of course, obviously, we gotta talk about the Ringo Starr narration, which is official 1983 narration. Now, many people would likely think it's from the Ladybird book. I've actually never listened to the Ladybird version before, but I have listened to the Ladybird books from Ringo Starr and Michael Angelis, respectively. I just don't know which ones exactly. I also can't go this entire video without talking about the score from Mike O'Donnell. Here's what my thoughts are. I do like it. It has a nice kind of, while this is footage from like 1983, it gives a nice current day vibe. It also helps that, this is, scaled in 4K, which, is also a plus. But I really wish there was a little bit more synth to it. I've made not one but two edits where it uses somewhat of the official music from the final episode. Two versions are Ringo Starr's narration with the music, and then I kind of did a temp narration thing with Johnny Morris, because personally, wouldn't it have been more kind of funny if they had used Johnny Morris's narration for the story? Because he was the only person at the time who had really narrated the story. I don't know if John Gielgud did it. I don't know when he started narrating the Railway series. And Bruce Alexander, I thought his narrations have only been around for a few years, so you couldn't use his narration. I kind of always thought that Johnny Morris's narration had been used, but since they got Ringo on the show a lot sooner than we expected, I think it's safe to say that, temp narration was never really needed, even though this is the temp narration for the pilot, technically. Obviously, the final narration for both US and UK sounds a little different. But either way, I really enjoyed the pilot. It added a new feel to Thomas. So many people are going to be talking about it and doing reviews and whatnot. Um, I obviously want to make a useful talks about episode talking about it, what it did compared to the official episode, and maybe even compare it to the CGI um, adaptation. What I mean is that one little clip from Blue Mountain Mystery, because, whatnot. Um, so yeah, I definitely loved this, and even though obviously the 80th anniversary is officially come and gone, and here we are waiting for another year to celebrate the 81st anniversary of the Railway series. Now, it's safe to say every 5 years it's definitely a milestone, but who's to say you can't celebrate the Railway series every year? But either way, this was definitely a surprise, and I think it's safe to say this was just a monumental moment for Thomas. While so many other things, on the other hand, like All Engines Go, didn't go so well, lol. This certainly did, and a lot of us fans, well, it's just another one of those many mysteries of Thomas that's finally been solved after many years of us fans speculating. So, props to Mattel for actually pulling all the stops and, actually finally releasing the pilot. It's just a shame that they couldn't have released it, I don't know, say back in September for the 40th anniversary of the TV show. That way, Brit could have actually seen us see the pilot. But either way, that's another story for another day. But anyway, yeah, so I really enjoyed the pilot, and I'm glad that I finally got to make my own little video talking about it. I wanted to do this before the 80th anniversary, but a few things kind of came up, and yeah. So this is kind of being recorded the day after / being posted a week later. But either way, it's glad to finally get my thoughts out there. So that's basically all I have to say. Hopefully you guys can expect more content from me coming soon. Obviously, after producing not one but two videos for the 80th, I think it's safe to say I'm finding my groove again. And who knows, maybe I can get on a weekly upload schedule, but we'll have to see. So yeah, anyways, without further ado, Useful 11 signing out. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all next time.